Hello everyone, Someone Bard here, and welcome to a new movie review. It's time to look at another Peanuts movie released in theaters. And it not only spawned a sequel TV special, What Have We Learned, Charlie Brown, but it's also the last Peanuts movie to be made by the original team behind the TV specials and other movies. Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, and don't come back. Charlie Brown, Linus, Peppermint Patty, and Marcy have been selected to represent their schools for the foreign exchange student program by going to France for 2 weeks, and Snoopy and Woodstock go along with them. But Charlie Brown received a letter from a French girl named Violet Honfleur, who invites him to stay at the Chateau du Malvoisin, or the House of the Bad Neighbor. Yet upon arrival, a French boy named Pierre, whom Patty and Marcy are staying with, tells them the chateau is home to the Baron, who doesn't allow strangers in his house and is rumored to do bad things to people who try to stay. And despite Charlie Brown and Linus having to stay outside in the chateau shed, Linus tries to find out what's going on and why Violet invited Charlie Brown to her home. Oh, and the Baron is Violet's uncle. Just to bring that up. Like the Peanut specials and the other movies, there's a nice feeling of enjoyment in it. But it lingers with story and filler moments. Not to say that it's all bad, it's kind of a bore. A majority of the film is with the characters going to France as foreign exchange students, and we never see the rest of the gang with their exchange students again. And overall, it doesn't feel like anything big or whimsical. It's like a full-length version of a TV special with not a lot of engaging things going on. The biggest thing I remember when seeing this for the first time was the climax with the chateau catching fire, or more the attic space, with Linus and Violet inside. And despite it being one of the rare thrilling elements in any Peanuts movie, it didn't get me too invested in it, as there are a few lighter moments going on, like with Snoopy trying to put out the fire, and Woodstock playing the violin in tune to a violin playing as background music. Also, why didn't the Baron, who is always in silhouette, never call for help? Charlie Brown's more responsible in that situation. Peppermint Patty, while fine in the specials, is used a lot more in this, and can get pretty annoying and old from how much time she's given. She constantly blames Charlie Brown for things that he didn't do, she always wants him to do what she does, or tells him what she wants or thinks, tells him not to embarrass him or her, and she thinks Pierre loves her when really he loves Marcy, as Marcy's actually good at speaking French. And for whatever reason, and it's never questioned, every adult in this film buys that Snoopy is a citizen and just accept it, ignoring the fact that he's a dog and the adults can somehow understand him. It's never explained how he got first class for the airplane, or how he's been accepted as a member of Wimbledon. Yes, it's pointless to question, and it's a cartoon movie, and there's no kind of logic in something like this. But then I might have to question where, when, and how did he get a personality like this in the comics when he started out as a normal dog? But I'm not going to get too much into this, so let's move on. There is one song in this film, but it's pretty forgettable. The accents, especially in London, are pretty exaggerated. And I think Marcy is trying to apologize to the people for blocking the traffic, but Snoopy is clearly insulting them. Now, the entire movie isn't bad, because there are good elements in it. Just a few. The filler moments, like with Snoopy at Wimbledon and at the bar drinking root beer and dancing, are enjoyable, despite them being a little long. A few moments with Peppermint Patty do give me a chuckle here and there. And there are a few good laughs in it too, like when Charlie Brown tries to get a long piece of bread that's both depressing and funny, and some moments at the airport, like Peppermint Patty and Snoopy having trouble getting their luggage off a baggage claim, and the kids speeding up an escalator, and both to the point of the escalator and baggage claim carousel to actually push them off. And yes, the animation is alright, and at times kind of funny, except when the kids show their teeth, which is freaky looking. And that's really all there is to it. As a whole, this movie is okay, but kind of dull. The characters are alright for what they are. The story is pretty lackluster, and the animation is fine. For being the last Peanuts feature from director Bill Melendez, there's nothing significant for this to be a theatrical film. It does have a few good laughs in it and a decent animation, but the main story or even plot isn't that strong for a 75-minute film, and Peppermint Patty can get annoyingly old despite getting a couple of chuckles. It's not as bad as A Boy Named Charlie Brown, nor is it as good as Snoopy Come Home. It's pretty much pointless as is, aside from the TV special sequel. And this would work better as a TV special than a theatrical movie. In the long run, it does have its moments, but they're too few to save a movie that didn't need to happen, and in some ways is sort of boring. So today, this movie began a rating of 2.5 mixed stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and tune in next time for a new video.